Hello, friends. It's me, Mr. Wilson, and I'm back with Guardians of the Taiga, Chapter 15. We're down to 5 more chapters after today. Okay, so once again, thanks to StacyPlays and Harper Publishing for letting me read this to you. Now, let's get started. Are you alright? The woman was leading Stacy to a camp chair. You look like you blacked out for a second there. Stacy took some deep breaths. In, out. In, out, she reminded herself. I'm fine, she said. I didn't know about... You must really love it here, the woman said. You've probably been coming here since you were little, yeah? It might not even happen, the man said. We're going to fight it, and a lot of people will join us. We can't let greedy businesses destroy the whole planet. You'll join us, right? The woman said to Stacy with a smile. You're going to leave your campsite as pristine as it was when you found it, yes? Take all your garbage with you? Stacy would have laughed at the idea of her and her wolves messing up the forest if she wasn't suddenly so worried about the wolf bounty and now this plan to steal the land. Definitely, she said. Now I better get Paige. She really should have a caller, the woman said, with your contact info, in case she runs off again. We have one, but it's at home, Stacy said, lying again. The woman took the belt around Paige's neck, and the dog danced over to Stacy, wagging her tail. Feel free to come over here with your parents tonight, the man said. We're going to make s'mores. We've got more than enough. S'mores? Oh my gosh, how have you never had s'mores? The woman asked. Stacy's eyed her confused. Graham crackers and chocolate bars and roasted marshmallows put together like a sandwich, the woman said. They're so good you'll want some more. S'mores. You have to come back with your parents tonight and try one. Stacy hesitated. How could she say yes and then show up without her imaginary parents? The woman mistook Stacy's hesitation for something else. I'm Miriam, by the way, she said, reaching her hand toward Stacy. Stacy didn't know what she was supposed to do at first. She nearly backed up. Then she remembered pictures in the newspaper of politicians shaking people's hands. She wiped her hands on her jeans and reached out to shake. So we have Stacy here and then Miriam over here. And that's Jack, the woman said, pointing to the guy who was likely her boyfriend or husband. He came closer, ready to shake too, but Miriam waved him back. Stay out of smelling distance until you've had at least one more bath, maybe 2. He cupped his hands around his mouth like he was shouting from a great distance. We'd love to have you and your family for some more, he yelled. Stacy smiled. These humans, no, people is the word I should use, are way different than I expected. They're nice, and they fight for the forest. Suddenly, more than anything, Stacy wanted to sit around the fire with them and talk about how to fight against the wolf bounties and substations and plans to turn the forest into a playground while they ate those exotic-sounding graham cracker sandwiches with, what was in them again? Chocolate toast mellows? But there would be too many awkward questions about parents and campsites and what a young girl like her was doing out alone in the forest. I would, Stacy said, her voice cracking, but we're leaving soon, as soon as I get back with Paige. But I thought you just got here, Jack said, his forehead wrinkled in confusion. Didn't you say that? Did she? Stacy felt her face getting hot again. She'd forgotten what she told them as she arrived. We just came for an afternoon hike, Stacy stammered. We have to be home tonight. The woman seemed to be studying her carefully, and Stacy started to panic. I better get back. They'll be worried, she said, edging away. Okay, nice meeting you, Miriam said. Bye, Stacy answered. Come on, Paige. She turned and forced herself to move at a normal pace. There was something about the way Miriam was looking at her that made Stacy uneasy. It was like she knew there wasn't a human family waiting for her. It was all Stacy could do not to run, but she was afraid she would make the woman even more suspicious. Hey, wait! Jack yelled. Stacy started to run. You didn't tell us your name! It's Stacy, she said over her shoulder. Bye, Stacy. Stacy had reached the edge of the clearing, Paige scampering behind her. She stepped from the bright sunlight into the shade of the trees, blinking. Everest was nearby, ready to do whatever she needed. Stacy made sure Jack and Miriam couldn't see her, and then crouched for a moment, petting him and the other wolves while her pounding heart settled back to a normal rhythm. She wasn't sure why, but she found herself needing to know what Jack and Miriam were saying about her. She crept around the edge of the clearing, making sure she was hidden by the trees and the undergrowth, and found a spot within earshot of the couple. The two humans were still in the middle of the clearing their fire pit. "Something's off," Miriam was saying. "Something is wrong, and she didn't want to tell us. Why is she wandering around in the woods alone? She looked like she hadn't had a bath in a while either." "She wasn't alone, she was with her dog. I'm sure her parents were nearby." "Not so nearby that they could hear us talking," Miriam said. "We could have been kidnappers." "She was so awkward, though. And did you see the way she got scared when you talked about the developer?" Jake shook his head. "She loves the forest like we do. And she's a kid who was confronted by two strangers in the woods who had her dog. You'd be a little awkward, too, if that happened to you. Plus, she said she was homeschooled. Maybe she doesn't spend a lot of time talking with adults besides her parents." "I don't know," Miriam said. "I have a weird feeling about the whole thing. Maybe we should look for her, make sure there are parents. I want to be sure she's taken care of." Stacy's heart started hammering again. "The first thing humans will do if they find out about me is make me leave my wolf family in the forest. If there's still a forest to leave anyways." Jack shook his head. "Of course she has parents, Miriam. What are you talking about? And she looked perfectly clean to me. She was polite, she likes reading, she's just a normal kid who is a bit weary of strangers. That's all. The only thing that was genuinely weird about her was that she'd never heard of s'mores. That's just wrong." Miriam bit her lip and went back to starting the fire, seeming to accept Jack's explanation for Stacy's behavior. Stacy crawled backward away from the clearing, confused and filled with conflicting feelings. She was relieved they hadn't decided to come looking for her fake parents. She was also a little embarrassed that Miriam had thought her odd, but proud at the same time, because even though she had been really uncomfortable and a bit awkward, Stacy had survived her first human interaction, first in a long time at least, and successfully retrieved Paige. The feeling that confused her the most was that there was just a hint of longing to spend more time with the couple, and it wasn't only because she wanted to taste s'mores and find out more about the proposed development. She liked hearing the two of them talk. She liked the fact that they fought against a substation and had warned her about the bounty, and she liked the way they loved animals, even skunks. And Stacy liked that they cleaned up the garbage other humans left behind. She liked them. And that was confusing, because up until this point, Stacy had been so sure that she didn't like any of her own kind. But the feeling Stacy felt that overtook all the others, bigger than the relief of getting Paige back or the confusion of enjoying her interaction with humans, was fear. Pure fear. The village vote to reinstate the wolf bounty had passed, and that meant that in a few days' time, hunters would be coming into the forest with the express purpose of killing wolves. And not just wild wolves that were killing the farmer sheeps, her wolves. At any moment, a hunter could shoot one of her wolves. The end of chapter 15. Okay, it's starting to get good. She got away from the humans, and now we have to see how the wolf bounty goes. So make sure you guys are reading and doing your word work and math and writing, and I love all the pictures I've been getting. It's awesome. I hope you guys are doing well. I miss you all so terribly much, and you know that. Hopefully we'll Zoom sometime soon, and I will see you later. Bye!